मनोभीष्टं स्वयं रूप कथं स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we continue with the text 4. We finished till text number 3. The text 4 will primarily talk to us about sadhu sangha. ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव षड्विधं प्रीति लक्षणम्. So this is one of the very important shloka of Upadeshamrita, where it talks about what generally we will be doing in the association of devotees. What are the activities? What are the how we actually interact with devotees. And the next shloka, text number 5, will talk about how according to the level of devotees we interact with them. This in general how we interact with devotees. That's very specifically Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. How do we interact with them based on their level? And Prabhupada very graphically and very in detailed way talks about uh, in the both of these two shlokas how this sadhu sangha is very much essential for our development in our Krishna consciousness. Anartha nivrutti is possible. It's possible only when actually we do sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha doesn't only mean someone who is wearing saffron cloth. Sadhu sangha means any devotee who is having sadhu vritti. If you see, there are vritti. There's a nice word vritti. Vritti. This is not from purport. We are just discussing. We'll come to the purport. So vritti. There are two meanings of vritti. Uh, One meaning of vritti is it's called as pravrutti. You might have heard this word pravrutti. The meaning of pravrutti means it is propensity. And the second vritti is called it's jivana. It's like livelihood. Like someone may use different occupations for earning his livelihood. So based on the vritti, generally we engage ourselves in different activities. As I said, based on our propensity, if someone has a kshatriya tendency pravrutti, then he may engage in services like administration, or he may be part of sometimes something like where it requires some security, something like that, securing something or some mission, some targets like that. And someone has a propensity of a Vaishya, then he may be engaged more with business and he knows how to do business. Recently, a few days back, I had gone to Bombay for finalizing our Janmashtami gift. I took one uh, amazing devotee with me. So, very expert. So the person who he proposed to us a particular price, something like maybe like 1200, 1300, like that he proposed. And that was only for the one object what we're supposed to take. But then this devotee that talked with him in such an amazing way, he convinced him that okay, 1200 that object plus packing. He convinced him for that. Then later, the second phase he convinced him for, he brought the price to 900. 900 including the object plus the packing and plus transportation, everything. So now this requires that Vaishnavrutti. If it doesn't have Vaishnavrutti, no one can. We just can't deal with it. I just went for seeing design, but I was amazed to see the way he did the transaction. So I'm saying if our propensity is known, that pravritti is known, that can be engaged, and that can bring, in that way we can render so much services based on the pravritti, and that can bring so much good name or good profit to our organization at large. And also, second is livelihood. Some people may be having certain lifestyle or so. Unless and until I was mentioning how, unless and until we engage in that sadhu. So I was saying that yes. So someone may be wearing a dress, so that doesn't make him sadhu. Sadhu can be a grihastha also who is practicing sincerely Krishna consciousness. If you go to third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about mithyachari. Third chapter, maybe initial shlokas, he talks about mithyachari. Mithyachari means one who is pretending. He may be wearing an external dress of of a sadhu, but then internally he is enjoying sense gratification. Such a person is called mithyachari. So when you say sadhu, sadhu means actually it doesn't only is confined to a dress. It also means there can be grahastha can also be a sadhu, brahmachari can also be a sadhu, sannyasi can also be a sadhu, and anyone, a vanaprastha can also be a sadhu. Or for that reason, even a child can be like that. We have example of Prahlad who was a child can be a sadhu. We have example of from scriptures example of Draupadi as a woman can also be a sadhu. Kunti Maharani woman can also be a sadhu. Of so many grahasthas are there in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. And we have Narad Muni who is a mendicant. He can also be a sadhu. So similarly, sadhu can be anyone from any varna, from any ashram, or from any gender. We can say for that reason he can be a sadhu. So we have another shloka in third canto, 25th chapter, 25th verse, where Satam Prasangam Mahavira Samvedo. It talks about how one should associate with the Satam. Sometimes we feel Satam means the pure devotee means anyone who's coming in a temple. We have, Pradhan Kartal and garlands and then welcome him and the Satam. Once I was giving Bhakti Boy presentation, that time His Grace Vamshivadan Prabhu corrected me saying that Prabhu Satam doesn't only, it's not limited only for that those great souls who come to a temple. It also means devotees who are staying around us. They also potential Satam. Sometimes sadhu sangha we mean generally we feel that is sadhu sangha means someone from outside of our community should come, from some other consular group someone should come, and then only I can do actually sadhu sangha with him. But the devotees with whom we are staying, devotees with whom we are around, they are potential satam, and that is a place where actually we have accessibility of that sadhu sangha. So that sadhu sangha is something which one has to seek for, look for, and take it, grab it as much as possible because of our limited time and energy what we have. With that, whatever we can get at the best, we have to do it. We have to accept it and explore it. And that's why this text number 4, what we will be now venturing into, we'll be talking about, discussing about how to now develop preeti, affection. We'll also be, I want to just finish this purport early, and then it's one of the verses where I have another PPT which I am showing in every of our class. It has a lot of details which I felt we can cover. Where, like for example, Dadati. Now we just know Dadati means offering gift. But then what are the qualifications of offering gift? When we should offer gift? To whom we should offer gift? What is the process of offering gift? What has to be done? What not has to be done in offering gift? Those things may not be seen in this purport, but then there are many other Vaishnavas who have painstakingly made these things available for all of us. Of course, the whole soul for us, our basis is our Srila Prabhupada's purport, and then everything is in context with that. That's why we take first Prabhupada purport. We go through every line literally. If you see, we don't leave any line. So we don't miss any principle. And based on that, we little bit try to understand the other parts. So let's begin. Uh, let's venture into this purport. Can someone start reading? In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform.
In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform devotional activities in the association of other devotees. There are six kinds of activities: giving the charity to the devotees, accepting from devotees whatever they may offer in return, opening one's mind to the devotees, inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord, honoring prasad or spiritual food given by the devotees, and feeding the devotees with prasad. An experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guhyam Akhyati Prachati. When a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of the food offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhungte Bhojayate Chaiva. Even in ordinary social activities, these six types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel and over the feast openly expresses what he wishes to do. He then inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, whenever there is a dealing of priti or love in intimate dealings, these six activities are executed. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees. Sanga tyagat sato vratehe. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these six kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in shape of books, magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold a Hare Krishna festival and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members come from higher rungs of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasad we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna conscious activities. The life of Krishna conscious society is nourished by these six types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given a chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the six ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness.
Can you imagine what Prabhupada is saying here? So basically, little going back in the same purport, somewhere where he said that this society was single-handedly started, उसके थोड़ा एक दो लाइन नीचे से, we are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities. You could see that. So
Yes.
basically, what because of the six exchanges, what outsiders are doing, there are three things outsiders can do, which Prabhupada is mentioning here. Number one, first thing what they are doing is, first thing is people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting what a humble contribution we are giving them, the shape of books, magazine, dealing strictly in the with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. So by doing these six things, first thing what outsiders will do with us is they will donate liberally. I brought out this point because Janmashtami is coming.
Hmm.
This is the time in our temple at ISKCON Pune. We do our fund collection marathon. So point is that I'm not saying that certainly all of us should try to contribute whatever best possible we can. But along with that, we should inspire by doing the six dealings, six exchanges for new people to get connected with the temple, and gradually then they once they get nice experience, then they themselves may want to uh, offer either their vacha, either their activities, body, mind, words, or maybe uh, their there's one nice shloka which comes in 10th canto, which I'll just look for. I think so. I have it. Maybe 10, 20 to 35, I think so. Can you take out a stroke, will you? 10, 20 to 25.
10:32.
10,
Huh?
20 to 35.
Yes.
एतावज्जन्म साफल्यं देहिनां इह देहेषु प्राणेरर्थे धिया वाचा श्रेयम् आचरणं सदा. The duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of the others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. This is what I was looking for. So by all ways and means, by maybe through our wealth, through our life in terms of giving our time, energy, wealth in terms of we may have wealth of knowledge, you may have wealth of maybe a wealth in form of maybe money, maybe wealth in form of some experience, whatever we have as a wealth with us, sharing that intelligence and our words. So we have to perform the welfare activities for everyone. So when we do this, then naturally the outsider people, as we're discussing the 3 points for outsiders, the first one we thought how by having these 6 exchanges, they'll be inspired to um, donate liberally to the development of the activities of this mission. Second thing which Prabhupada says in this purport is we sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite our life in the feasting or by accepting prasad. This is the second thing which can happen. And third thing he says, sometimes the MEM supporters inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. So this is for the actually outsiders. So this is a way, as a devotee of ISKCON, we should do 6 living exchanges with the outsiders. And now how we should do that 6 living exchange with the insiders, that also Prabhupada is saying. The life of the Krishna, little ahead, the life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by the 6 type of loving exchanges among the members. So we are the members amongst us. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotee of ISKCON because simply by reciprocating in 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. Means by just doing the 6 living exchanges, a living entity can fully revive his Krishna consciousness. Now it is covered. Achadita can become Mukalita completely. That complete transformation is possible simply by doing the six. I'm just saying bhakti is so simple. Sometimes when devotee said bhakti is deceivingly simple. It is so simple that we can miss it. This is another very classic example of how bhakti is so simple. And then continue the purport. It is stated in Sangat Sangayate Kama, with desire and ambitions.
In
Develop
Bhagavad,
according to, yeah.
in Bhagavad Gita 2.62, it is stated, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. One's desires, ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company. And if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it's already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. It is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.107, नित्य सिद्ध कृष्ण प्रेम साध्य कबुनय श्रवणादि शुद्ध चित्ते करये उदय. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When heart is purified by hearing and chanting, the living entity naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam, one's heart is directly purified and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart, it is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first stanza of his Sri Shikshashtakam, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. श्रेयाकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दां बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्. All glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan moment is the prime benediction for the humanity at large because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Thank
Not only,
you.
not only the chanter of the Mahamantra not only is the chanter of the Mahamantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from the material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that the chanting of the holy name is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jharikanda. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deers, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance. But by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratigrinati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna conscious moment and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyam Akhyati Prachati principle can be served. Principles can be served. The members of International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor Prasad, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with Prasad. In this way, both the members of the society and general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so called yogis, jnanis, karmis, and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of life, he should associate with devotees of the Krishna conscious movement because it is the only moment that teaches one how to develop love of God. A religion is the special function of human society and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious systems. In all parts of the world, however, downtrodden, human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into the love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje ahaitukya pratihataya yatma suprasidati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to the loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. If the members of the human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna conscious movement not to speak to the impersonal Mayavadis who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world,
That means what? We should never ever do this six live exchanges with either Mayavadis and someone who is atheistic. Like in the next shloka, we will be discussing about Madhyamadikari. So Uttamadikari is one actually who he's not able to discriminate. Uttamadikari is one who can't discriminate. He feels everyone is nice. Everyone is he can't find faults with anyone. But for Madhyamadikari it is said Prema, Maitri, Krupa, Upeksha. Four things. He will do prema with the Lord, Supreme Lord. He will have affection for the Lord, or he develop the affection for the Lord. Maitri, friendship with the devotees. Krupa, mercy is for the innocent people. And Upeksha is neglect is for the people who are envious. These four things actually one has to be quite clear about. Otherwise, then if he is not very much having discrimination to differentiate between a devotee and such kind of categories of Mayavadis, then that will be like Mayavadi Bhashya Sunil Hai Sarvanash, as Chaitanya Prabhu mentioned. That may impact our own practice of Krishna consciousness. Why? Later in the purport proposal, tell about how it's like a snake. You're feeding milk and bananas to a snake. And even if sometime when the milk is there and the snake comes and touches that milk, so the milk may look white only. But as you drink that milk, you will get affected by the poison. So it may look that like sometimes people may be speaking about Krishna and all those things, but if they're not properly connected and if they are Mayavadis in that case, then it may look like similar. We have so many examples. From Chaitanya Charitamrita also we know that I think so. It was Ramchandra Vishwas, one personality, who was chanting Lord Ram's name, and Mahaprabhu detected that actually he chanting Ram's name because he wanted to become Lord Ram. Devotee Swadaki is such a wonderful devotee. Hema Varna Lalita Mataji is saying, please explain Prema Maitri Upeksha once again. But in detail, we'll be discussing again this thing in the next chapter, but I'll just touch upon those points. I think prema, affection, one has that affection, love is for Krishna. So prem for Krishna, maitri with the devotees of Krishna, friendship with the devotees of Krishna, prema, maitri, krupa, mercy, krupa is for the innocent people of this world who are looking for Krishna or who are perplexed in this material world. Prema, Maitri, Krupa, and Upeksha, neglect. We neglect people who are envious. We neglect people who are coming in this category of, who may pamper or hamper our practice of Krishna consciousness. The such people you have to neglect initially. But if you have a strong conviction, strong faith, that you can go and fight with them, you can defeat them, that's different thing. But in general, it's recommended by scripture that this four thing one as a Madhyama Tekari should be doing. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, and Upeksha. Okay. Okay, let's move ahead.
the world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of the Mayavad and the other atheistic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even back a strong party to oppose Krishna conscious movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna conscious movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of the atheist. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking the milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam visha vardhanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the serpent Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosure will never help. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and the atheists, nor accept their invitations. For by such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and atheists. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also warned, Vishaira anna khaila dushta hayamana. By eating the food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna conscious movement. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept the charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material sense gratification. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and torment Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demonic. In this verse, there is a brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When we decided to retire, he distributed when he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earnings to Krishna's service, 25% to his relatives, and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees. That will fulfill the demands of Dadati. In the next verse, Srila Rupa Goswami informs us what kind of Vaishnava should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnavas should be served. Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol. So Prabhupada very amazingly is giving us all guidelines and pointers what we should do and what we should not do. Also, he ends the purport by saying how Rupa Goswami has shown us by his example how one should how one's life earnings should be distributed. That also he gave example from Rupa Goswami's life. Okay, now we'll just as usual we will share this Bhakti Thakur's song and then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's. Can you please allow me, Prabhu, for sharing?
Yes, Prabhu, you can share. Sorry.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, Bhajan Lala Sahib Shri Bhakti Thakur. हरि हे दानपति ग्रह मिथो गुप्त कथा भक्षण भोजन दान
हरि हे दान प्रतिग्रह मिथो गुप्त कथा भक्षण भोजन दान
संगेर लक्षण यै छय हय इहते भक्तिर प्राण
संगेर लक्षण ऐछय हय इहते भक्तिर प्राण
तत्व न भूजिए ज्ञाने व अज्ञाने असते ये सब करी
तत्व न बूझिए ज्ञाने वा अज्ञाने असते ते सब करी
भक्ति हराइनो संसारी हईनो सुदूरे रहिले हरि
भक्ति हराइनु संसारे हाइनु सुदूरे राहिले हरि
कृष्ण भक्त जने ये संग लक्षणे आदर करी बयवे
कृष्ण भक्त जने ऐ संग लक्षणे आदर करी बयाबे
भक्ति महादेवी अमर हृदय आसने बसी बेतबे
भक्ति महादेवी अमर हृदय आसने बसी बेताबे
जोशित संगी जन कृष्ण अभक्त आर दुसंग परिहारी.
योषित संगी जन कृष्ण अभक्त आर दुसंग परिहारी
तव भक्त जन संग अनुक्षण कबे वाहई बेहरी.
तव भक्त जन संग अनुक्षण कबे बाहाई बेहारी.
So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying here, very interesting, Dana Pratigraha Mitho Gupta Katha Bhakshana Bhojana Dana. Giving and accepting gifts, conversing about confidential matters, Mitho Gupta Katha. Bhakshana is an eating, and then Bhojana Dana is offering food. These six characteristics of association. Within them is the spirit of bhakti. Yate bhakti ra prana. So bhakti we can become lively by doing the six things. In short, he's saying that to us. तत्व न बुझाइए ज्ञान एवं अज्ञाने असते ये सब करी. Not understanding this truth and knowingly or unknowingly associating with non-devotees in all these ways, bhakti harayanu. So even if knowingly or even unknowingly you associate with non-devotees in these six ways, what is going to happen? I have lost all bhakti and become a worldly person. You are thus remained far away, O Hari. Sudure. Not only dure means थोड़ा दूर. सुदूरे मतलब क्या? स्पेशली इज अवे. स्पेशली दूर है. हरि हमसे स्पेशली दूर हो गए किसके किसके कारण? बिकॉज वी डिड द सिक्स एक्सचेंजेस विथ नॉन डिवोटीज. कृष्ण भक्त जना यही संग लक्षण है. आधारे करीब है. व्हेन आई विल ऑनर कृष्ण's devotees through the six forms of association. So actually by doing these six things we are actually honoring the devotees. By accepting prasad actually we are honoring the devotees request, okay, who was giving us prasad. By accepting the gift also, that's also honoring a devotee. Giving a gift is also honor and accepting the gift is also an honor that way. Bhakti Mahadevi Amar Hridaya Asane Vasivitavi, and then only Bhakti will sit on the throne of my heart. If I want to do these six exchanges in a way to honor Krishna's devotees. Yoshit Sangi Jana, Yoshit Sangi Sangasya. That one sloka in Bhagavatam which comes, Yoshit Sangi Sangasya, Martyanam. It goes like that. So Yoshita, what is Yoshita means? Yoshit means woman. Yoshit Sangi means someone who is attached to a woman. है ना? So now here for a man, woman is a woman, and for a woman, man is a woman. I'm just making it clear that in that case both are also involved. Yoshit Sangha not exclusively means for the woman or Matajis. It's meant for both man and woman. Yoshit Sangi Jana, who's attached to the opposite sex, basically in short, and Krishna Bhakta, the non-devotees and the people who are attached to the opposite sex, these two are parihari. They should be avoided. We should abandon these things, he's saying. Tava bhakta jana sangha anukshana kabe vahive hari. And constantly associate with your devotee. When I'll abandon this bad association, take that association of devotees as my life and soul, and constantly associate with the devotees. Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying here. Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
And let's go to Shri Upadesha Amrita Bhasha by Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. सत्संग त्याजी साधु संग कर भाई प्रीतिर लक्षण क्षय विचारी सदाय.
सत्संग त्याजी साधु संग कर भाई प्रीतिर लक्षण क्षय विचारी सदाय.
दान ग्रह स्वस्व गुह जिज्ञास वर्णन भुंजन भोजन दान संगेर लक्षण.
दान ग्रह स्वस्व गुह्य जिज्ञास
Savarnana
भुंजन भोजन दान संगे
Lakshana
द्रव्येर प्रदान आर आदान करिले गोपानीय वाक्य वाक्य व्यय आर जिज्ञासीले.
द्रव्येर प्रदान आर आदान करिले गोपनीय व्यय आर जिज्ञासिले
भोजन करिलार भोज्य खाऊ यायले. प्रीतिर लक्षण हय दुई मिले.
भोजन करिल आर भोज्य खाऊ
Shakhayainde
प्रीतिर
Prithiru Lakshanaya
हय दुई मिले
भक्तजन सह प्रीति संग क्षय यई. अभक्ते अप्रीति करे भाग्यवान येई.
भक्त जन सह प्रीति
Samapriti
संग
Sangachaya E
अभक्ति
Abhakti
अप्रीति
Apriti
करे
Kare Bhagyavan.
भाग्यवान यही
Very interestingly, Bhaktijan Thakur, just like the way Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quite soft and very well, the very strong is Bhaktijan Thakur. Oh brother, reject bad association, associate with the sadhus, and constantly deliberate upon the six exchanges of love, giving and accepting gifts, inquiring and describing confident topic, and eating and distributing food are the definite definitions of such association. Sangir Lakshana, that is the symptoms. Giving and receiving gifts, speaking confidentially and inquiring from others, accepting prasad and feeding other prasadam. These are the symptoms of love when two devotees meet. So these are two things, these are six things which one should do when you're meeting with devotees. And these six loving exchanges amongst devotees, these are the six loving exchanges among devotees. Such fortunate soul do not show affection towards non-devotees. This is again, he's also repeating the same thing that how abhakti apriti. We should have for abhakta apriti. Of course, it doesn't mean that you're looking down upon them and then you are like, you're quite strong about them, but in a way that we don't associate, we don't give our hearts to them. We may have to deal with them, we may have to interact with them. We can be congenial, we can be very courteous in our dealings. Along with that, we have to make sure that we don't we don't open our hearts in such a way that they exploit us. That thing we have to be very careful with. So with this, let's begin another journey on very interesting things which are coming, which what our acharyas have shared. Is this visible slide?
Yes, bro.
This shloka we recited, and then so Prabhupada is saying here in the lecture, he said Dadati means there must be, one must give something to other, a friend. Just like I am friend, you are friend. I give you something, in return you give me something. Dadati prati granati, guhyam akhati prichati cha. I open my mind to you. You also inquire confidential things from me, or I inquire, and then bhunte bhujyate, whatever you give me, I eat, and I give you, you eat. By these six kinds of dealings, priti, love increases. So in our Krishna conscious movement, we practice this. Prabhupada is making a very strong point that we practice this. That means we are supposed to practice this thing. Now you may say, okay, bro, what is priti? What is priti means? And there are some other acharya like Radharaman Goswami is saying he's the original acharya, original who wrote a commentary on this. He says, now in this fourth verse, beginning from Dadati, the karya tatashta lakshana, effective secondary characteristics of sata priti, affection for sadhus, who nourishes one's bhakti of the verse is clear. That is his commentary. And then he continues by saying the same thing. There are some primary characteristics of affection for sadhus, where it's six snigdha chitta and melting the heart. Those things are there. And then there are secondary characters, sat priti, which is mentioned here. So Srimad Bhagavatam says, what is the nature of the world outside? In the material world, which advances like a river that carries away the living entity, all people become friends, relatives, and enemies in due course of time. They also act neutrally, they meditate, they despise one another, and they act in many other relationships. Nonetheless, despite these various transactions, no one is permanently related in this world. It's another very, you can say, harsh reality of this world, where we may act initially as friends, but then as a time is something which can separate us completely. Now, as I was talking about Priti Lakshana, so what is the meaning of Priti means? How does a Priti usually begin? Unless one person causes benefit to another person, Priti usually does not occur. It's a usual thing. And in some situations, it may be different. That means that also. So whenever, okay, like, okay, I have something, I want to learn something from someone, and then I want to get benefited by that association. That's why I go close to that devotee. Or someone wants to get something from me, then he may come close to me. That is a beginning of the Preeti. It begins from there. And then there is a Subhashita. Darshane Swarshane va api, Shravane Bhasane api va. Yatra Dravati Antarangam, Sasneha iti kathyate. Hmm. So now how to know whether we have sneha for whom we have that sneha, affection. इसके लिए affection है हमारे heart में. When the heart melts joyously on seeing, touching, hearing, or conversing with an individual, one is said to be experiencing sneha or affection. Now that may not be possible for each and everyone we meet. Very limited number of devotees will be there with us for whom we can feel like this. So whoever we feel like this, we can understand with such a devotee, we can have natural friendship. With such devotee, we can actually do our exchanges. Another Subhashita. Priti Satyam Tayoreva Yayor Yoga Viyogaya. Vatsara Vatsarayanti, and then Vatsarayanti Vatsaraha Vasaraha. True Priti exists between two individuals when both of them feel in each association that years have reduced to days, and in separation, days have turned into years. If you feel like that for someone, that means there's a Priti which is existing between the devotees. And then another Subhashit. It talks about how formality before friendship and not after. So one, according to Subhashita, the meaning is that formality can be there before friendship. But if when the friendship is very strong, after friendship becomes strong, then only we can, there may be no requirement of any formalities. Now you may say, okay, Prabhu, but then shall we stop doing formalities? No. Whatever etiquettes we have, formality, we do follow that. But it is mentioned that after the relationship becomes very strong. And as I heard from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says it takes sometimes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years for becoming very strong, developing very strong friendship. That means till that time we should continue with the formality. But what is mentioned here, formality should be observed only as long as two individuals have not developed affection for each other. When affection has developed, acting formally is nothing but a pretense. Another Subhashit. What is the number of close ones we should have in our life? Panchabhi sa stavavyam. Gantavyam panchabhi saha. Panchabhi sa vaktavyam. Na dukkham panchabhi saha. One should stay with 5 friends, travel with 5 friends, and converse with 5 friends, thereby avoiding all distress. Any examples where 5 friends are together? One with 5 friends.
6 Goswamis.
Yeah. So every one of them had 5 friends. Rupa Goswami had 5 Goswamis. Sanatana Goswami had 5 Goswamis. A very classic example for all of us. I have 6 Goswamis. Number of close ones. So 6 exchanges with Vaishnavas can be done who are equivalent in bhajan with us, and who are more experienced in bhajan, and who are less experienced in bhajan with us. Like that. These 3 categories can be done. Now, what not to do with a close friend? If you desire abundant, long-lasting friendship, then do not perform the following 3 acts. Number 1, trying to win an argument against the friend, especially in public. Entering into any sort of financial contracts or business deals with the friend. And flirting with the spouse. This mentioned in Subhashit. Tata patni paribhashanam. And then Bhagavadam Artha Sambandham. So then these 3 things are mentioned. If you avoid these 3 things, then you can have a long-lasting friendship with a friend. Any of this one thing comes in between, many of us may have experienced that friendship can't continue long.
The financial help also.
So it's not a financial help. Financial help is different, and entering into in a contract or financial business deal is different. Like you suppose, I was hearing a lecture by Radhanath Maharaj. Maharaj was saying that he was telling about how one should be so careful while having any financial dealing with devotees. He gave example of some He said, I know some Prabhupada disciples. They decided, okay, let's start a business together. So two of them started business together. And then he said, now they're fighting in court against each other. So to help someone, it's a different thing. Helping means like the person going to return back that money. So you're aware that that's okay. But then whenever you are entering a contract or a business or doing some financial things together, then there's always every chance that these things may create an issue or problem. Now, what are the qualities of good friend? Papam nivaranti. Saintly souls say that true friend perform the following acts. Number one is papam nivar nivarayati, rescuing the friend from the path from an incorrect path. Next is engaging the friend on the beneficial path. Second one, yojyate hitaya. Number third is very important. Protecting secrets and taking them to the grave. Guhyam cha guhati gunan guhyam cha guhati means taking the secrets to the grave. That means what I was reading somewhere else that only 4 years should know anything. Any secret thing is there, only 4 years should know. Years matlab kaan. If 6 years know, then it never remains a secret. 4 years matlab kya?
One is sharing and one is.
आपके 2 कान उसके 2 कान बस तीसरा दूसरे कान आ गए तो then it never remains a secret because all of us we have some favorites, some close ones. You may go and say, Prabhu, you know that? You don't know this? I have special news for you. ऐसे करके करते हो फिर उसका कोई फेवरेट होता है, उसका कोई फेवरेट होता है, ऐसे करके करके घूम के फिर न्यूज पूरा सब जगह फैल जाता है. You know the story, no? That once a king was there and he had a very favorite queen, so he gave him that very special diamond necklace. कुछ तो दिया diamond दिया. And then that queen had an affair with some minister. He gave that minister. The minister had an affair with some another woman in the palace. तो उसको दिया. उसने जाके वो उसका अफेयर था किसी वो स्टेबल का जो इंचार्ज उसके साथ अफेयर था. ऐसा घूम घूम के पूरा वापस से वो राजा के पास है ना. तो ऐसा न्यूज भी इस तरह से चलता है. So that means whenever something is shared with us confidentially, you should maintain that confidentiality, not to share. Means taking that thing to grave means not even disclosing unless that person wants to disclose. Now there can be one situation where this should not be followed. The third one is when you know that your friend is doing something wrong. He's on adharma, doing something wrong, and he wants you to hide his wrong act. That time you should not. A dharmic thing should be not done, not unnecessary. So ढकना नहीं चाहिए. Number 4, expressing good qualities of the friend in front of others. दूसरों के सामने उसको ग्लोरीफाई करना चाहिए. गुणान प्रकटि करोति. And then next is not abandoning the friend in times of distress. आपदगतम न च जहाति ददाति काले. And then giving what is needed by the friend at the correct time. ऐसा नहीं कि मेरे पास कोई एक्स्ट्रा गिफ्ट हो गया, मेरा बहुत हो गया, एक्स्ट्रा हो गया, मैं चलो ये बुक है ना मेरा एक्स्ट्रा, चलो उसको दे दूंगा गिफ्ट करके, उसको लगेगा मैंने उसको गिफ्ट दिया. नहीं, don't give anything like that. Whatever he needs, we should offer that. That's the quality of a good friend. Here's a nice analogy given from Niti Shatakam. It's a very nice very nice verse talking how the friendship should be there. When the milk first met water, now just imagine the milk is there and water is there. When they both of them met together, milk gave all the good qualities it had to the water. Now that water also became like a milk. Later, seeing that the milk was experiencing tapa, when the milk was getting heated, maybe heat or distress, it was the water which rose up. That's why the water rose up and began sacrificing itself to the fire. So that he thought the milk thought maybe, the water thought maybe if I rise up, if I fall on that fire, then the fire will it will stop. Seeing that his dear friend water was rising up to sacrifice itself, the milk also rose up to die. However, the same water which was situated outside water came to the rescue and cooled down everything. Cooled down everything means it cooled down the fire, it cooled down the rising water and milk. Such is a friendship among the sadhus, among devotees. It's a very classic example how one should have friendship with each other. This is the way for that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So there is something called dana. Dana means giving gifts. And utsarga means what? Giving of the ownership. है ना? मैंने दान दिया किसी को, लेकिन काफी बार हम उत्सर्ग नहीं करते. अरे भाई वो गिफ्ट कैसे यूज कर रहा है, अरे तूने गिफ्ट यूज क्यों नहीं किया, उसको ऐसे ही पड़ा है. then we still have that ownership of the gift. So dana means you gave the gift, you gave the ownership also of the gift. That is called as, that is actually called as dana. Means you don't have that. The act of giving is called dana, and pratika is the act of receiving. In the similar way, dana also means not only just giving gift, but also you are giving the proprietorship or the claim over that gift, that how that person is going to use that gift. He's saying learning to give on all situations. Anukule vido devyam yata pura yita hari. Pratikule vido deyam yata sarvam harishyati. During the times of good fortune, one must give to others because it is Hari who fulfills us in all ways. ये हो गया गुड टाइम का, हो गया गुड फॉर्चून. ड्यूरिंग द टाइम मिसफॉर्चून वन शुड गिव टू अदर्स बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली इज हरी who takes away everything. That means you should give in all situations. Don't be in that impression, ठीक है, when a good time will come, that time will give. Don't wait for that. मूर्खो नहीं ददाति अर्थम इह इह दारिद्र्य शंकया प्रज्ञस्तु विसर्जति अर्थम अमृत तस्य शंकया. Foolish people do not give gifts and charity out of fear of becoming poor in this life. The intelligent, however, give gift and charity out of fear of the same in the next life. You're getting the difference? Haribol, all of you are there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
हाँ, मतलब
Yes.
मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा था मैं कि अब है नहीं है, क्या हो रहा है, शांति हो गई. Whether it is going getting understood or it's like too much, मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा था. ठीक है? Okay, let's go ahead. हाँ. Now, whenever beggars come to us, what we should think? No, sometime when we are on the signals, street, there are signals, we are waiting there, we are sitting in a car or a bike, whatever. They can ask, please give us something, please give us something. Sometimes even we don't give anything to them. Actually, it is said we should give something. At least prasad we should give. Money obviously may be difficult because they may misuse or whatever, but at least prasad should be for sure given to them. Something what we have. Now, whenever you see this beggar, what we should think is mentioned here. How the beggars are actually enlightening us. If we are miserly, the beggars are going to help. If we see in a proper perspective, then the beggars are going to enlighten us. All the poor beggars in this world who beg in the front of a miser are actually trying to enlighten him. They are telling him, please give. Look at us. We are the result of not giving in the past lives. May you never end up like us. That's why please you should give. That's what is from the Skanda Puran. Shatahasta samhara sahasrahasta samkira. Collect through 100 hands, but give away through 1,000. So, okay, now we're talking about gifting or giving dana. There are 6 aspects of this gifting. What are 6 limbs of dana? There are, first is giver, the receiver, the purity, the auspicious gift, the place and time. These 6 things are these 6 limbs. When you do it properly, when all the 6 limbs are taken care properly, then only dana is considered as complete. Otherwise, it will be incomplete. So, okay, what are the 6 limbs? Let us see one by one. The first factor, the data, donor. So, what it is said? The highest type of donor gives even without asking. There is highest type of donor. He understands the receiver's mind. He offers it. The mediocre donor has to be asked once, please give something. Then he gives. The lowest among the humans, Adhama, do not give even when asked repeatedly. At least we may not be the highest ever donor, but at least we can be somewhere in mediocre. Someone is asking us, then at least we should offer something. Such personalities. Dana, which is given by personally getting up and walking to the receiver, is uttama. The best of dan is what? You get up from a place, go to the person, and then offer him that dan. That is uttama dan. What is madhyama dan? When you call the receiver, Rao, hello, that's madhyama dan. And when the receiver has to get up, come asking for it, then it is called adhama. And if one expects any service in return, then such dan is nishphalam, fruitless. है ना? If you're expecting, ठीक है भाई मैं दान दे रहा हूँ लेकिन उसके बदले मुझे कुछ तो मिलना चाहिए, then such dan become nishphala. You don't get any benefit whatsoever from that. Specifically spiritual benefit. You don't get. Now the second factor, receiver. If it is only for bestowing benefit upon the donor that the receiver asks. The receiver is not that he's not like he's not a beggar. He's asking so that the donor will actually get a benefit by giving. The result of the entire act is that the donor progresses to the higher planets, and the receiver supports himself by staying below. This is the consciousness of a receiver or receiving any such things. There is no doubt that a selfish individual don't understand the dangers faced by donors. If they could understand it, they would never ask. In the same way, many donors do not understand the difficulty of those who seek donations. If the capable donors would be aware of the difficulty, they would never say no to any seeker. Means what? What is the meaning of this shloka? This comes from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Individuals could understand the dangers faced by the donors.
The receivers understand भाई donors में क्या difficulty होता है. When the donors understand the receivers क्या difficulty होता है, तो उसमें क्या होगा? दोनों ही कुछ नहीं करेंगे उसमें, है ना? जिसको चाहिए वो मांगेगा नहीं, और जो देने वाला है वो बिना बिना बोले दे पाएगा. He'll never say no. That's a very healthy combination. The receiver is not behind asking, begging में नहीं है. But the donor भी उसी के साथ देख रहा है, situation समझ रहा है, and then he's also offering. He's not saying no to anyone, any seeker. This is the best combination of donor and receiver. So patigraha is not considered good. The repeated acceptance of gift is dangerous. It tastes initially like honey but turns quickly into poison. Therefore, I am detached from. So one should not repeatedly just keep on receiving. One should offer also. So someone has called us for prasad. We do offer prasad. We do accept prasad, but we also offer something in return. We do kirtan. At least we share some nice things what we have. Some exchange should go on constantly. It's not that always you are like लेना बैंक. अगर हम लोग just लेना बैंक करेंगे तो फिर हम लेना बैंक के बन ही नहीं पाएंगे. The third factor. First is the data, then second is the receiver, third is purity. अभी ये सब चीज होना चाहिए क्या क्या आप देखो ऑब्जर्व करो अभी से हम जो सीख रहे हैं. So these are the 5 ornaments that decorate the process of giving. When the process of giving becomes beautiful is when number 1 tears of joy while giving. So इतना वो खुशी से दे रहा है कि मेरे भाई प्लीज तू एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है मेरे से. Goosebumps due to happiness. Giving gift to the receiving person. Giving respect to the receiving person. Speaking sweet words and displaying complete acceptance of the receiver. These are the 5 ornaments that decorate the process of giving. If this is happening, that means actually your dan is really amazing. And then उसका opposite.
What was the 5th one last time?
5th one is the displaying complete acceptance for receiver. The receiver is completely satisfied and happy by receiving that from you. अगर ये 5 चीज होती है उसमें प्रोसेस में, that means your process of giving is actually successful. It's very decorative. And that's like ornament of giving. Then the giving is really happen. मतलब इसमें ये होना चाहिए, इसका ऑपोजिट भी होगा ना. क्या नहीं होना चाहिए, वो देखेंगे अभी. So these are 5 things that ruin the process of giving. First we saw what gives ornament to the process of giving. Now the second one is what ruin the process of giving. Disrespect, अनादर, विलंब, अरे ठीक है आ रहा है रुको रुको आ रहा है एकदम डिले करते करे करे व्यक्ति को. एंड देन वैमुख्यम, टर्निंग अवे वंस फेस और मेकिंग क्रूकेड एक्सप्रेशंस. वैमुख्यम. द फोर्थ वन इज निष्ठुरम वच, स्पीकिंग हार्श वर्ड्स. एंड देन पश्चातापश्य, पश्चाताप, एक्सप्रेसिंग रिग्रेट, अरे क्यों दिया इसको मैंने, नहीं दिया तो अच्छा होता था. अगर इस तरह से है, then that is the whole process of giving has been ruined. These are the symptoms. That means it should be pure. That means the first way it should be followed. इसका मतलब ऐसा है. The next factor is the gift. Water has been earned without harassing others, without giving any undue pain to anyone, and by one's own effort, is to be known as deya, worthy of gifting. Such gift may be small or big. तो जो भी आप ऑफर करें किसी और को, उससे दूसरों को हरेसमेंट नहीं हुआ है, और विदाउट गिविंग अनड्यू पेन टू एनीवन एंड विद आवर ओन एफर्ट्स. इसका मतलब क्या है? वी शुड नॉट फॉरवर्ड द गिफ्ट्स. मेनी टाइम वी फॉरवर्ड द गिफ्ट्स. ठीक है, यहाँ से कुछ मिला उसको फॉरवर्ड कर दिया, वो ठीक, कभी करना पड़ सकता है ऐसा फॉरवर्डिंग, बट यू शुड नॉट फॉरवर्ड द गिफ्ट्स टू योर क्लोज फ्रेंड्स. बाकी को हो सकता है कि आप फॉरवर्ड करें, बट एटलीस्ट जो आपके क्लोज लोग हैं उनको फॉरवर्ड नहीं करना चाहिए आपको. ऐसा है बोल रहे, देन दैट फैक्टर ऑफ द गिफ्ट इज मेंटेन्ड. फिफ्थ एंड सिक्स इसके देश काले, the time, and the desh is like the holy place, which place you're offering that gift. So holy place is Mathura, Pushkara, Kurukshetra. It also means our temples are also holy places. Kala, Kartik Maas, Akshaya Tritiya, eclipse or during the day. ये सब चीज जब when someone sees these things, then this sixth factor, then the dan becomes best. Guya means confidential. Unless you love me, how can I speak to you my confidential subject matter? So give and take. The English word is love. This is love, the beginning. A wise person should keep the following 9 things secret. This is coming from Subhashita Ratna. Number 1, age, wealth, any flaws in the family, confidential mantras like we have Gayatri mantras, medicine that one takes, one's sex life, the charity one has performed, honor and dishonor. These 9 things should be kept in general secret, he's saying. You should not keep on talking about them everywhere. So now this is about the Chanakya Sutra, where he says about how success is attained when the mantra is kept secret or confidential. That means our Gayatri mantra specifically for us. Anyone who reveals the secret to others to other results causes failure in the desired goal. Confidential mantra should not be allowed to escape from any of the doors for body. The foremost quality of a dear friend and advisor is the capability to keep mantra secret. A true friend and advisor should not exhibit any enviousness even when the mantra is being spoken to them. Mantra, as I said, mantra should not 6 years. Similarly, anything we are discussing, secret should not reach the 6 years. The mantra loses all confidentiality as soon as it reaches 6 years. It can be held secret between 4 years between the giver and the receiver. Between 2 years, even Brahma cannot fathom the secret mantra. Why? Why Brahma cannot fathom? Because
Lord
Brahma
Brahma cannot read the minds of other people. Unlike the super soul, unlike Paramatma, Lord Brahma cannot read the minds of others.
Okay. But why especially Brahma is mentioned here?
I mean, he is the most powerful being in the universe, apart from the Supreme Lord. So if he
Okay,
cannot
but
exist, nobody
on a
can.
practical level, if you see why Brahma is mentioned here is because Brahma has 8 heads and four, and that means sorry, 4 heads and 8 ears. And it is saying mantra should not reach 6 years. So that is one of the reasons why Brahma is mentioned here. You getting what I'm saying?
Yes, Prabhu.
That's one of the another. What you're saying is also correct, but along with that, this is also a very practical thought. Hmm. Bitter neem trees are abundantly found, whereas fragrant sandalwood is rare. The earth is filled with stones, whereas diamonds are extremely rare. The cawing of the crows is abundantly heard throughout the year, whereas the sweet sound of the cuckoo is heard mainly in the rainy season. Truly speaking, the world is a place full of ruffians. Only 2 or 3 gentlemen are to be found here. That means what is like you may find at least 2 or 3 friends only. You may not find a big number of friends around us. That's the meaning of this Subhashit. The great vow of true friendship consists of the 4 important limbs. Number 1, to bestow benefit upon the friend even at the cost of one's life. Number 2, to be free from exhibiting enmity under any circumstances. To exhibit complete freedom from duplicity and to consider the friend to be as dear as one's own self. When we have such kind of friendship, then it becomes easy to confide. How to find a friend to confide in is mentioned here. So these are like 4 things. Pranayan api hitavittir adaro varjanam atmanaiva priyadhanam etan maitri mahavrtam. Avoiding political friends. There is no true friendship, affection, or nearness to be expected with the state administrators or a politician. As Prabhupada used to quote our Chanakya Pandit that how one should never uh, uh, Strishu Rajakuleshu. One should never trust Rajakuleshu, the politicians. He said. These people console others only for their selfish interest, and once their work is done, throw out their dependents mercilessly. They often bad about everyone and often work against saintly souls by showing external affection. So this politically influenced or political kind of friend should be given up. Now, how to find such a friend? Are they like-minded? Are they trustworthy? Are they fond of misusing their position or power to manipulate others? Are they in any administrative position that can cause harm to us? Are they interested in Krishna Bhajan? One should carefully avoid eating food offered by non-devotees. Indeed, a devotee should be very strict in not accepting food from a non-devotee, especially food prepared in restaurants or hotels or on airplanes. One should avoid eating with Mayavadis and covert Mayavadis. Writing in this purport, Charan Chaitanya I was impressed when he said airplanes. Food prepared in restaurants or hotels or on airplanes. Here's a Leela of 7 Up. 7 Up Leela. Can someone read this? Shirupa sat in the window seat near the back of the airplane.
Srila Prabhupada sat in a window seat near the back of the airplane. Shamsundar and I were seated next to him. As was the custom on the transcontinental flights, the flight attendants frequently offered refreshments to passengers to avoid the dehydrating effects of recycled air. A flight attendant walked up the aisle with a tray of drinks in clear plastic cups and offered them to the passengers. What is that? Srila Prabhupada asked me as she approached our seats. Oh, that's 7 Up, Srila Prabhupada. I said, would you like some? Yes, let me try it, he replied. I immediately requested 3 cups for all of us. Shamsundar and I waited for Srila Prabhupada to take the first sip. We wanted to be certain the 7 Up would be prasadam. We watched carefully as he put the cup.
Yeah.
We watched carefully as he put the cup to his lotus-like mouth. He drank some and put the cup down on the table. Ah, this is very refreshing, he said. We finished our drinks within minutes. During that flight, we had 7 Up 3 or 4 times. Each time Srila Prabhupada drank one, he said, "Ah, very refreshing. This is very good." One time, the flight attendant put the can down on the table along with the cups filled with ice. Srila Prabhupada picked up the can and asked, "What are the ingredients?" When there was no response, I did not know where to
Hey,
live.
man, this is different. This is different.
Yes, Prabhupada.
We'll come back to that, I think. So they will understand based on that ahead. Let me see. I think so. I missed that slide somewhere. Okay, maybe I'll try to arrange next time. I'll try to arrange that slide. So, anyways, so basically, it's a balance between strict and the practical. हाँ, ये और एक चीज है, ठीक है, we'll read this also. Read this.
When there was no response, I did not know where to live, where to eat. Sometimes at Dr. Mishra's, sometimes with some friend somewhere, where to live. And I was going to inquire the shipping company when the next ship is returning to India. Still, I was renewing my visa. Let us hope, let us hope. In this way, we started 2nd Avenue in month of July.
So basically, what we're discussing here is how Prabhupada actually was balancing between sometimes strictness and sometimes practicality. So first example we saw that 7 up का दूसरा year देखा Prabhupada हमेशा सोच रहे तीसरा देखेंगे अभी.
Mukunda
Yes.
Goswami. Yes, bro. We, the Swami's people, sat down outside for lunch with them. Mishra's people at long tables covered with white tablecloths. The 7 of us flanked the Swami on both sides. It was the first time I had seen the Swami hold a fork. He held it in his right hand with his middle finger and the thumb, European style, and he ate. I saw him begin to carefully pick things out of the salad and put them aside. When I looked closer, I saw that there were little onions. I glanced at the people on either side of me. I saw that they had noticed too. We all dutifully followed him, picking out the onions as he did. Miracle on Second Avenue by Mukunda Goswami Maharaj.
One more example.
Kaushalya Dasi. A lady had prepared a huge and delicious vegetarian feast for us, but there were some onions throughout the vegetables. One of the men leaned forward to Srila Prabhupada and whispered, "Prabhupada, there are onions in the vegetables." Prabhupada looked at him angrily and said, "Quiet, eat. It doesn't matter, just eat." He didn't want to offend her. Being an appreciative guest was more of a concern to him than the fact that there were onions in the vegetables. He ate it and complimented her on her cooking. Another time we were served chocolate. We all thought, "Oh, you're not supposed to eat chocolate because it's got caffeine in it." Rapa said, "Eat it." He was casual in some ways and strict in other ways. I think his principle was that he didn't want to offend our host by being a stickler for the rules and regulations. It was a great example.
What a broad example, whatever we saw till now. So he did not compromise the purity in most cases, instructed others to follow the highest standards, sometimes displayed relaxation of those standards, especially during travel and preaching, did not seem to bother much about or display any negative emotions about such relaxation of standards. So it doesn't give us a license to relax the standards. So if you go a little ahead in the past time, Prabhupada said this that actually you should have informed the cook before. You never informed the cook. When he asked, you never told that we don't eat onion and garlic. That's our mistake, Prabhupada said. You getting what I'm saying? Sometimes Prabhupada had to act in a practical way in certain ways. Again, I'm repeating that this is not giving us a license that we can just, because Prabhupada did it, so we can do it. Not like that. That mood has to be seen, that mission has to be seen of Prabhupada. Okay, another very interesting from Parashar Smriti. When the country is overrun by invaders, while traveling out of town, in times of sickness, in times of great difficulty, one should first and foremost protect one's body, mind, etc. Later, in times of normalcy, one should revert to strict codes of dharma. This is a way when actually can be done or not. In any situations of emergency, one should not overthink our purity and the rules. One should first rescue oneself from the difficult situation, and then, when one is again situated in the healthy state of body and mind, one should think of executing strict dharma. So, apatakal is only one situation, not always. You know? So, in case if suppose someone is in a flight and after 2 hours you're going to reach your destination, So your flight doesn't become an apatkal unless until your flight is delayed by 6, 7, 8 hours. That time it's not apatkal. And still go and or sometimes you can get fruits, whatever is practically possible can be done for us. Food should be accepted at another person's place only when there is an affection between the one who feeds and the one who eats. When there is an emergency, oh Duryodhan, neither do you have affection for me, nor I am in a situation of emergency. This is when Krishna was given the invitation by Duryodhan to eat prasad at his place. So there should be at least affection between the giver and the receiver, or there is the emergency. Neither is there in my case, Duryodhan. I can take prasad at your place. Eating in moderation, six qualities are acquired by people who eat in moderation. If you eat in moderation, you will get the six things: health, longevity, proper strength, happiness, good offsprings, and freedom from the allegation of being an voracious eater. लोग बोलेंगे नहीं कितना खाता है ये. So महाभारत. He who eats before feeding the honorable guest verily eats away the good fame and reputation of his home. He who eats before feeding the honorable guest verily eats away the good fortune and knowledge present in the home. Even a person of the lowest varna arrives as a guest at the home of a person from the highest varna. The duty of the host to properly worship the guest. This is because the guest is the representative gods. Avoid miserliness. This is very interesting small composition where when someone is miserly in serving, now in this particular situation, the person who is serving ghee, he is very miserly. He doesn't want to serve the ghee very much. So the poet is saying to the ghee server, "Oh my goodness, what was that? Was that a golden chain running away from me? That is a ghee. Or was it a golden flash of lightning falling from the sky? That stream of golden ghee, where did it go? Did it disappear in the sky? Or did it enter the earth? Wherever it went, I am pretty sure that it did not fall on my plate of rice." So when you are serving, you should avoid miserliness in the process of serving. And we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Gaudi culture was so much that the way how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to feed his guest. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down with his personal associates and had every one of them fed very sumptuously until they were filled up to the necks. Following the orders of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda, his personal servant, called all the poor beggars who were unhappy due to their poverty and fed them sumptuously. So basically, dil khol ke, so we should serve. So this is a Bhati Pati Gandhati. I hope it didn't become like a Duranto Express for all of you. I just wanted to share this important aspects also, apart from what we read in Srila Prabhupada Purport, because they really give us a practical and thoughtful things for our application. Thank you so much. Any questions, comments?
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Outside Chetan, I never knew you were there in this forum. I would never agreed to give class.
Prabhu, it is such a joy, Prabhu, hearing from you. I have never heard from you, Prabhu. First time I am hearing your class, Prabhu. So it is so joyful. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
We are missing you at Pune.
Same here. I am missing all of you, Prabhu.
I hope it is helpful. I just wanted to give a experience to all of you. Now, as we go ahead, now we may not have so much of maybe bandwidth to cover the entire thing. Certainly, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur's poem, Lalasa, those things will continue till the time he has written. And maybe another few verses we'll discuss some things from the slides what we see. So. But as we go ahead now, things will be becoming more and more shorter. Because Sadhu Sangha is accessible for us. The text 5, text 6, we're talking about Sadhu Sangha, that's quite practical for us. But as we will enter No, text 7. And from text 8 till 11 will be a simply a theory class for all of us. The glories of Radhakund and all those things will be like simply just okay. We offer obeisances to those principles and those things. What we will read from Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas, and we can just hope and pray that someday we come to that level. What they are mentioning. So next weekend, most probably I'll be in Kolhapur, so we may have to little bit modify our times.
Yes.
Maybe 4:32. Sunday will be because when I'm there, I have back-to-back things, so only time I can fit the things is because I have a class prior to this class, I have a class after this class. In a sequence, I have classes. So only time I get is 4:32. On Saturday, 4:30 to 6:30, we can go for sure. But on Sunday, also 4:32, only 6 we are able to go because the youth class begins there at 6. And even maybe 5 minutes to go and reach there at avenue. So I think so we are quite in a we covered the 4 shlokas till now. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Of course, generally the 9, 10, 11 they go together because they are like 9, 10, 11 is 1, 5 and 1 maybe. 5 more sessions may be required for us to cover the remaining thing. Max 5 or maybe 4 to 5 we can say. So these 2 Sundays and then next 2 Sundays and then next to that will be Balram Jayanti. Till that time your Upadesh Amrit will be concluded. Okay, so we end it now. Anything anyone wants to say or share or yes. Thank you, Srila Rupa Goswami Pada ki jai, Upadesha Amrit ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.